Hi, I'm Matt McKeown. I own the world's fastest shopping trolley, and I've just taken on the world's fastest shed, which is owned by Kevin Nex. We have a long feud of who's going to be the fastest, who's going to be the quickest, and so we today had a race to see who it was going to be. Well, I built my first shopping trolley 6 years ago, and it was 40 miles an hour, much smaller, and I spent the last 6 years, I'd say, making it better, improving it, and the fastest I've ever been is 95 miles an hour, but it's still got more to go. Unfortunately, I'm retiring now, so this is it. 95 will be it. It costs quite a lot of time and also quite a lot of money when you're messing with jet engines. Jet engines are very expensive things to buy, they're very expensive things to run, and it's also quite expensive going to events everywhere in the country and even Europe where I've been. And sooner or later, if you keep doing that, and especially if you lose your job, you're going to run out of money. So for me, it's the end of the era for jet engines for me. I'm going to go and find something cheaper and probably more environmentally friendly to do. My rivalry with Kevin started, it never really started. We've always been about the same speed, so it was inevitable that we were going to ask this question, who's the quickest, which is the fastest, the shed or the trolley? And of course, when I announced that I was going to be retiring from this, we needed to settle that score. So it's not something that's always been there, but it's something that's come about as a result of me retiring, and we've settled it now and he's won. Well, I prepared for the race with Kevin by, I knew how fast he'd been before, and I kind of knew how fast I was, and I knew that doing it over a 400 metre or a quarter of a mile track was going to require a few changes, so I went over the top, I bolted the afterburner on it, I lengthened the gears, we had a few issues, and had I left it as it was, to be honest with you, if I'd left the shopping trolley as it was before, I would have probably beaten him. But you don't get anywhere if you don't try. Am I disappointed to have lost? No, not as much, because I like Kevin, he's a great guy, and we did this, we wanted to know who's fastest, and Kevin's the fastest, as simple as that. I'm a bit disappointed that I didn't make better use of the modifications that I did, because they were very expensive and I had to turn them all off at the end of the day. Not disappointed to lose, disappointed that I couldn't have done better than I should have done. Reactions from people, I always think that whenever I go to, I've been to Santa Pod a few times, and when I come here, that most people have already seen the trolley before, but it's amazing how many people haven't, and so you always get people walking by and going, hang on a minute, what's that? And so it's always nice to talk to people, and they say, well, where do you stand, or where do you sit? And I go, on the back, and they're like, well, it's never changed. I love talking to people, and I never cease to be amazed by how amazed they are that there's a jet engine on a shopping trolley. But there is, to me, it's just the way it is, but people find it really interesting. Well, now the trolleys, I've retired from the trolley anyway. I can't afford to run it any longer, so it's going to be, it's going to a museum. I'm sure it'll continue to give people enjoyment long after I've stopped riding it by being on display in a museum. At the end of the day, we had a great time, great fun, and we've really enjoyed it. So.